Hi everyone, welcome to tonight's Live with Lisa event. I was so busy chatting with you guys in the live chat. I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, it's 7:59. I gotta go hurry. Thank you for your patience. I was hoping I wouldn't be tardy. I have just to give a shout out to all of you. Thank you for being here. I know this is a very busy time of year. We're all getting ready for the holidays. So I didn't expect so many of you to be here. So I'm thrilled. Pat and Vi, I'm praying for you both. They both have left hand arm brokenness. And what a coincidence that it's the left side. Thankfully, they're right-handed, but I feel for you. As a card maker, I feel for you, especially around this time of year. Pat's having surgery Wednesday, so my prayers are going to be going out to you this evening, Pat. All right. Hi, Eve and Lori and Kathy. It's so good to see Arlene and Michelle and Lorraine. So glad you guys are here. I try to catch some of you as you scroll up here on the screen. As a reminder, Live with Lisa is a private event, which means you cannot share the link or the video with others. Thank you. It's part of an exclusive ordering reward. And to keep it exclusive, we require that you do follow those rules. Thank you so much. If you've never been here before, this is a lot of fun because it's very casual, not polished at all. Of course, I have things planned and we're going to have lots of fun stamping together, and we have prize patrol. That's always great. But if something goes awry, we're just going to fix it together. This is intended to be as if you were here with me. So I want it to be very, very personal. So I hope that you're going to enjoy yourself. A word about Prize Patrol before we get started this evening. If you are pulled randomly as one of the names to receive a Prize Patrol, please keep in mind that this is a gift. It cannot be exchanged. It cannot be returned. If for some reason you don't like it or you don't want it, pay it forward. Give it to a stamping friend or donate it to a worthy cause. I know that schools, assisted living facilities, hospitals love craft supplies, even your local library. So I hope that you'll find a good use for it if for some reason you don't want it. But I hope you do. I try really hard to get you things that I think that you can use. All right. Hi, Eileen. I'm so glad that you're here. So glad. I see Kay ads. I'm not sure who that is, but hi from California. Sarah, so good to see you as well. And Alice, welcome, welcome. All right, what do you say we start with the Prize Patrol first? That's always the most fun, right? I'm a one-man show tonight. Gina does not come to Live with Lisa private events or any of my private events. The only thing she does live with me is online stamping retreat, which, by the way, February 10th. I'm just going to put a shameless plug in there. We have all already started our cards. And I don't know how we do it. They are all incredible. I say that every retreat, but we all pull all kinds of great things out of the air, and we've been designing together. We've had a lot of fun getting this all ready for you. So I hope you'll mark February 10th on your calendar. Registration will open, oh gosh, I'm thinking probably the middle of January. Get through the holidays. So put away $45 so that you can join us in February. You're not going to want to miss it. It's Kylie Bertucci, her husband Bruno, who are incredibly talented. She's the #1 demonstrator in Australia, and then of course Gina and myself. And we're live for a full day online retreat. And if you can use YouTube, you can be here. We would love to have you. Oh, I look great in red. Thank you, Lori. I've been told that. Red and blue and apparently orange. But you guys are so sweet. I appreciate the compliments, especially as look how white my hair has gotten. I told my daughter when she was here for the last 12 days, I earned every single one of those. And I have to tell you, I don't miss covering up the gray at all. I'm just embracing it because these are my wisdom threads, right? Hello, Paulette. It's so good to see you. Susan, Lisa, it's nice of you to ask about the house, but I think you might have been thinking of someone else. Oh, I may have. Sorry, Susan. I have two Susan Jaworskis, and they're spelled different. And you're apparently not the one here in Florida, so I apologize. All right, welcome, welcome. Okay, Prize Patrol, that's the most fun part, right? 12 names, they're inside the tin. Everybody who earned Live with Lisa, whether you're attending live or not, doesn't matter, even if you're watching or not. Your name went into randomlistpicker.org. It chose the random winners. I put your names on a piece of paper so I know who won, but I don't know what envelope you're getting. So I'm going to shake you up. I'm going to open up the prize tin. We've got our first envelope of product here. I've got to move some things around to make some room. Okay, I'm going to mix you guys up. Hold on a second. I got one. Kathy Smith! Look at that! Kathy, congratulations to you. Remember, if you are here in the live chat and for some reason I've missed you, you need to make a big deal about being here when your name is called. Congratulations to you. Hi, Gloria. Can the word captions be taken off the screen? Yes, Gloria. Just click the CC at the bottom of the screen and they'll come right off for you. All right, I'm mixing you guys up. Oh, thank you, Beth. Here we go. Next name. Kay, you are the next winner. I don't dare say Kay's beautiful last name because I will butcher it, but she has this envelope coming to her house with some goodies in it for her. Congratulations to you. I will get these mailed in the morning, by the way, so you'll get them right away. Here's another envelope. Ready? Let's mix you guys up. I always want to time this just right for the drum roll. It never happens. Judith, you are our next winner tonight. Yay. Happy prize dance, right, Judith? Congratulations to you. We have lots more to give away. We'll do it throughout our time together. I'm going to close up the prize tin so that my winning names don't fall out. I just want to thank you all for being here. All right, lots to go over tonight and lots of fun things, but I want to remind you about this. When tonight's live is all over, you're going to need to come back about 5-10 minutes later. Down in the video description below, I'm going to have 2 links for you. Each of those is going to have a bundle of tutorials, 4 in one and 4 in the other. Download them or save them to your computer so that you will have them. They are exclusive for you and they are free as a reward. I will also put them as the first comment underneath the video, and I'll pin it to the top just in case there's other comments. You won't have to be looking for them. They will be in 2 places for you. Don't forget to come back and get those. You need to give me a few minutes to get from here to my desk to make sure those are taken care of for you. I love reading your comments. When we're in this private event, it's easier for me to try to catch up with you. So thank you for being patient with that. All right, so we've got our prize patrol underway. What do you say that we stamp? Does that sound like a great idea? I don't know about you, but I love to stamp. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Going to move those buttons out of the way. Who has their Beveragino with you? This is what Kylie calls it. I have to have lots of water. We have had very cold weather here in our book in the last few days here in Florida. And it's starting to get warm again. It'll be 80 tomorrow. You just never know about Florida, right? All right, so this card, the first one we're going to do is pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm going to use my mini Misty. I have gotten so many emails and YouTube comments from you guys that a lot of you ordered your mini Misty and, of course, your precision glue press. Oh, I can just tell you, these have been just a lifesaver for me. My hands are just getting worse and worse. You see how they're kind of black and blue down there? Can you see them all? It's just not fun. When Palmer was here, because I had to pick them up like this, it was even worse. So this has made me a very happy person. Now, I'm assuming you've all seen me use it, but just in case you haven't, we'll go through the 911 again. There is a very, very strong magnet here, super strong. It comes with it. There's a little black foam mat here. Oh, Aline, good. Foam mat here. And I love this because you're going to need that for photopolymer. It makes getting the image out really, really good. You'll remove it when you're using red rubber. They give you a small little pad of grid paper that you can use for scratch. You can see I've been busy doing Christmas cards. But I just leave it in here and I just close it all up. Handy dandy, wonderful. I have this linked for you on my website under Shop Craft Room Favorites. We are an affiliate with Misty, which is My Sweet Petunia, which sells this, as well as the glue press and lots of other things you're going to see. I am in the process for the first of the year doing a whole series of YouTube shorts to teach you all the cool things that you can do with this. And I also have a video coming up about another cool technique I did with this on January 1st. So you want to make sure. Lori says it's on her Santa list. You're going to get it. Just keep pressuring Santa. He's a good listener. Scratch paper, I'm going to stick that here. I'm going to anchor it down. And I've pulled out my image ahead of time, and I'm going to stick that here. This is just scrap paper because this stamp set has dies to go with it. I'm going to close the door to pick up the image. Now, there's one thing about photopolymer, if you didn't know, is it's sticky because of the polymer that's in it. And it has maybe sometimes a tendency, if it's not been well loved, to lift the paper. So when it's new, of course, the more you use it, the less that happens. You're going to want to make sure that if it lifts it, that you reposition yourself back in the corner every single time because that's going to be such a game changer. Now, some of you may already have this bundle, but if you don't and it's still available, because it is on the last chance list, I believe, This is incredible. Barbara O'Brien, that glue press came back yesterday. They had a very small shipment come in and they're waiting for another container to arrive. Go to my website, Barbara, under Shop, Craft Room Favorites, and scroll a little bit, and you'll see the link to the Precision Glue Press. If you can use the link, it helps me immensely. Thank you, thank you. So Joy of Noel, you've seen me use it in a lot of my public YouTube videos. I have fallen in love with this. I'm really sad to see it go. The pieces here are timeless. These are never going to go out of style. But I love the fact that these die cut the letters individually so you can come up with any formation that you choose. Now I'm going to demonstrate one card for you, but I have lots of others to share with you as well. All right, so let me put that off to the side. And I've got my little stamp attached there. And I'm sorry about the lighting, but if we don't have lighting, you guys are in the dark. So bear with me with a little bit of the glare. One of the reasons I love the Misty is that this door folds flat. Do you see how it's flat on the table? I get a lot of questions about this, and because we're in a private group and I love you all and I feel like we all have a personal relationship, I'm always honest and very open with you. The old Stampin' Up! Stamparatus, this hinge didn't close all the way. I would have to put a stamp case here to make it level. So this is one thing I love about it. In addition to that, it's a third of the weight. I am not kidding you. This new one that's teal has metal encased hinges. So you don't have to worry about it being a piece of junk and falling apart. I love this thing. And I didn't think I would use it this much when they sent it to me, but it's a game changer. I'm coming over to the Memento ink pad and I'm going to ink this up. Okay, so I'm working all the way across here like so, make sure I get it good and inked. But you know what? It really doesn't matter because watch, in the corner, lots of firm, even pressure. Now with my hands, this never comes out good, ever. And you can see, I'm holding this up. I'm hoping it's going to focus. Do you see how it's really kind of not filled in well here? Okay, this is the beauty. I'm making sure I'm in the corner and I love this. We're going to ink it up again. So if you're like me and you're a little lazy about re-inking your ink pads sometimes, come on, tell me that I'm not just the only one. You can go over this again. And oh my gosh, so much better. Look at that. Do you guys see the difference? I could never do this if I didn't have the Misty. I have saved so much cardstock. It's ridiculous. I would have to stamp things sometimes 2 and 3 times just to get the intensity of the color that I wanted. Obviously, you can clean this. I've just linked these guys for you. These are these microfiber cloths, and just squirt a little bit of water on there and wipe it all off, and it doesn't leave any lint. The towel rag that I was using was horrible. It was leaving lint everywhere. These come in a 6-pack, and they're really, really inexpensive, and they're on my website under Shop Craft Room Favorites. Remember to scroll through there so you don't miss all the cool things I have for you there. All right, I'm going to take this off. I'm just going to stick this off to the side. Let me find a corner for that. Hold on. And now, let's talk about this. I decided I wanted to do a little bit of coloring in here, and I'm going to zoom you guys in. My coloring is not going to be traditional. Hi, Joan. Hi, Virgine. I'm glad that you guys are here. And I'm not going to color the whole thing. I'm going to do a couple of them so you can kind of see what I did. And I'm grabbing all my blends. I'm saying it's non-traditional because this time of year, one of the things I hear a lot, and even personally, if we're being honest, we get a little tired of red and green and red and green and red and green. Okay, so I decided I'm going to change it. So I'm going to start off with, let's bring in this one. Let's start off with Lost Lagoon. So I have light and the dark, and I have a tendency to separate them on my work surface because do you see how closely related in color the caps are? If you're anything like me, have you ever gotten these mixed up and you're like, no, I put too much dark or too much light? So I separate them on my table. I also like to do all my lights first and then go to all my darks. It's just my thing, but you guys do you. So I'm going to start with this. I chose to do the pine needle. So I'm using that chiseled tip of the blends on purpose because it's finer and I can get into those little tiny areas. Now I did this on purpose, but I wanted some color there. I also did the holly in the Lost Lagoon. I know you guys are probably thinking, this is going to be horrible. It's not, I promise. Okay, so there we go. We have our lights. The next thing I'm going to bring in is boho blue. So I've got my dark and I've got my light. Now for the boho blue, I decided, oh, I'm going to do it on these little leaves right here. So let's go ahead and let's color in just a couple leaves just to give you guys an idea. So we got some blues, different tones, kind of fun, and then we're going to cap that. And then last, I brought in Misty Moonlight. Now I'm going to put the dark one over here, and I've got the light one. And again, I'm going to use that chiseled tip because you see how small that is? Here come my berries. Do you see? I'm making little circles. I get asked this a lot. When I put the alcohol pen down, it bleeds. Yeah, because it has alcohol. So don't leave it there. So just make a little circle, and it's going to fill your area. If it doesn't fill the whole thing, don't panic. It just leads credence to highlighting. All right, this is now where I'd like to go to the dark. So I'm going to come over here to the dark, and I'm going to just go over those little lines because those are like my cheat marks. And then watch what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to kind of skip every once in a while. I'm going to work on the vein and just do a little bit here and there. This now is that boho blue, which were in the leaves. So we're just going to cheat once again because those little lines were put there by the artist for a good reason. Now, what do you do with the dark and those little berries? So this is what I do. I make a dot at the bottom. And I know it doesn't seem like much, but just wait. The secret to getting it looking more professional is to blend them. Now, when you have tiny, tiny areas, it's really not necessary all the time because there isn't much room to blend. I think you know what I mean. But I'm going to go for it anyways. So here's the Lost Lagoon light. I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to pull the light and the dark together. Now this time I'm going to come over and I'm going to kind of make these a little bit more solid because I just want a little bit more color in there without it being too white. This is one of those images that you do not have to fuss about. And you can see I probably don't even have to blend those, but you're probably wondering about those berries. If it bugs you, make another dot around it just to make the dark dot and the light kind of bleed together. And of course you could just keep going. There is a die for this, so there was no fussy cutting involved. You got to love that. And I did that ahead of time. Okay, so let me bring this out and bring this in. But ooh, I have 3 of them. So what are we going to do with this? All right, let me move these little beauties out of the way. And let's come over to this. I'm going to come over, skip ahead a little bit to the actual card base. I'm not going to move you out because you're going to be too close. And let me get my little pieces out. And I don't know about you, but I'm a huge fan of designer series paper. It makes all my cards look really, really professional without having to put in too much work. This is just your typical 5.5 by 8.5. I scored it in half at 4 1/4. I don't do anything even, so I got to check to make sure I didn't mess it up. I'm going to come in with my bone folder, and then I'm going to go over that edge. One nice crisp edge here. I'm going to actually do it this way. And this is going to be a tutorial for you that you guys are going to get. Now, I decided to add some designer series paper. Now, this first designer series paper, you're going to look at this and go, ooh, that's kind of pretty. And I have to cheat and look at the name. This is from the Inked Botanicals designer series paper. So one side always has a theme with Stampin' Up, and the other side really is a bit more generic. Now, I don't know about you, like I said, we don't ever cut and score perfectly, do we? So there's things that we can do to help compensate. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that first. Let's bring in that silicone craft sheet because I can't live without it. And I'm going to add some adhesive here to the back side. This is my Stampin' Seal Plus. I'm going to work here so it's easier for you to see, and I'm turning it because it's going to be easier for my hand and easier for you visually. Aha, I can already see Lisa's going to have to give this a haircut. Do you see it here? It's going to make me crazy. Yes, I have that A-type personality. So there we go. We have our first border. But I wanted something in the middle to break this up and not leave this so plain. And that's when I brought in this. Is this not absolutely gorgeous? I don't know if this paper is still available. It's also on the last chance list. It's called Snowflake Magic. It is beautiful. It's like mercury paper, isn't it? So it's got silver in it. And I love it when you want shimmer, but you don't want it to take away too much. So let's go ahead and let's add some adhesive to here. So I'm going to work around the outside edges on this one. A little bit here, a little bit there. And then we're going to put this in the center. So I'm looking here to kind of butt it up against here. Now, I know I got some space at the bottom. I'm turning this. I do things better this way. Anybody else besides me? And then we're going to attach that here. Do you see it? Less noticeable with the white, but I can see it here at the Lost Lagoon. This last panel is going to go here. I like to work from one end to the other because if I mess up, I can give it a haircut, right? So I'm going to flip this upside down, and let's add some more adhesive to my last strip. And I can tell that it's getting warmer outside because it's starting to get warmer in the studio. So I want this to be here. I just turned the ceiling fan up. And I'm going to butt these up against each other and then tack these down. So do you see? Oh, that's going to make me crazy. Would this bother anybody else? Or is it just, am I weird? Come on, we're friends. Tell me the truth. I'll put this in my trimmer when I'm all done and I'll give it a haircut. Honestly, when it's standing up, it's probably not noticeable. My mother thinks I'm probably nuts because she's like, honey, you're obsessing. And I'm like, I know. But we're going to work on this. But let's go back to these 3 pieces. So I'm going to lay these out and you're going to get a good indication of what I'm going to do here. Look it. Do you see it? The second I saw this, I thought, oh, I can make a wreath. Okay, good. You guys obsessed too. Thank you for making me feel better. Okay, thank you. That makes me feel so good. Now for this, I'm going to attach these with glue dots. And I did it for numerous reasons because when I first did it, my circle was a little lopsided, but don't worry about that. So I got my glue dots here. So let's go ahead and let's take this one and we're going to put a glue dot here and a glue dot here. Do you see how I press it right on top of there? And I'm just going to let these overlap. Oops, my glue dot's sticking out. And I'm going to go like so. All right. So now we have one bigger piece. Now we're going to take this one. Well, I think I want this one to go like this. So let's put the glue dot here and we're going to press. Now I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to get an absolutely perfect circle, but that's okay. And then we're going to need one more glue dot. And you know what? For this one, I'm doing card surgery because I don't want to bend that. So here's my glue dot. And then I'm going to put another one here because for some reason it didn't catch it. Don't you hate when a plan doesn't come together when you're stamping in front of your friends? And these are pliable, so you can kind of work it. Pretty, right? Now you're probably thinking, it's not a perfect circle. I know. It's okay. We're going to flip this upside down and we're going to grab some dimensionals. And we're going to use these to serve 2 purposes. We're going to anchor these 2 sections together better. And it's going to elevate our card. Don't be cheap with your dimensionals. You made all the pretty. Make sure it doesn't fall apart when you put it in the mailbox. You know, before my mom lived a few blocks away, she was an avid receiver of my cards. And she was also the best critic. And she'd like, oh, it came. I'm like, oh, good, you got the card. She goes, yeah, it's all lopsided. And I'd be like, what? She goes, yeah, it's all lopsided. I'm like, no. She said, yes. So here we go. I'm going to gravitate that towards the center. Ooh, isn't this pretty? Oh, Virginia, you like it. Oh, Susan, I'm glad you like this idea. Okay. So the next thing I decided to do, and I did this ahead of time just to save some time, is I took the words from that stamp set and I heat embossed them in silver because I wanted to play up the silver that was here in the paper. I thought there was enough of the lagoon and the blues already. I fussy cut around here. Don't overthink this. It's just fussy cut and be done. Just don't cut too close and you're going to be good to go. If you don't know how to heat emboss, then you can go over here to my YouTube channel, the private side. This is we're on the private side. Go on the public side. And in the little magnifying glass, type in Embossing 101. And there's a whole video that gives you all the tips you need to know. So we're going to do this. We are going to flip this upside down. But I want to show you something. I kind of want it to rest a little bit on and a little bit off. So here at what's going to be your top, I need to work with mini dimensionals. So I'm going to place one here. And I'm going to place another one here. And I'm going to show you why. We want to make sure that the elevation between here and here is going to rest right so that it doesn't come out all wonky. Oh, you guys like it. But even though I'm putting dimensionals there and there, I want to make sure that they don't rest too high and land on top of there. All right, so let's come over and let's see if we can stick a few more in here because you know I got to have it all balanced. Otherwise, that whole thing's going to kick in. Do you see? I took my scissors and I cut the dimensionals in half. So that gave me smaller pieces. I can't live without this take your pick tool. Anybody else got this thing and love it? And I'm going to put that one here and I'm going to put that one here. That's pretty good. All right, so now we're going to take off the paper backings. This is the hardest part, right? With the mini dimensionals, you just got to stab them and kind of pull them off. I can't live without this either. I'm just telling you. All right, now we're going to come back here. We want to make sure we've got that even stability. So you want to make sure it's not going to rock. So we're going to come over to here and we're going to tack that in place. Oh, so pretty. Okay, we're not done. This ribbon is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So it's a white organza with a silver trim. It's in my online store with Stampin' Up. I used the bow maker to give me this multi-purpose bow. If you don't have a bow maker and you love these fancy schmancy bows, I'm going to tell you right now, go to my craft room favorites and snag it. You will thank me. It's amazing. So for this, we're going to use some glue dots, and you can see that it's sizable. So we're going to do a couple. So I'm going to do one here. Let's take another one here, because remember, we don't want our card to fall apart. Now, this is a strategic thing. If your circle is not perfect, you're going to place this to create an illusion. So you can see that there's a bigger gap here than there is here, so it doesn't make it perfectly circular. That's the right word. So you can use this to your benefit. I'm looking, where should we, I kind of want it up here, because you see what it does? It kind of hides that gap. So let's do that. The one inside your tutorial is in a completely different place. So remember that your embellishments can hide a lot of flaws. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. All right, and then I like to fan those little guys out because they're so pretty. Aren't they pretty? All right, we're not done. All right, because you know it's not done unless it has bling. Here's my rhinestones. Got to have rhinestones. A girl has to have bling. But I didn't want to overpower them, so I think what I'll do is I'll take one of these medium ones. You know, they have glue dots on the back. So I'm going to put one down here to gravitate your eye down by the greeting. And let's take this one, and I'm going to put this one over here on that Lost Lagoon so it stands out a little bit. And then we'll put this one up on an angle. We'll give them a good push because the glue dots are already there. You don't have to fuss with anything extra. I'm putting those away, and there we have voila. So coloring was easy because there really isn't much you have to do for detail. But I did it 3 times. You can already tell the Misty did a beautiful job with getting really nice, dark, prominent lines. That silver embossing made it into a little bit of a wreath, and so pretty, isn't it? I was really hoping you guys would like that. Oh, you like the non-traditional colors. Yay! That makes me so happy. Okay, because you know what? It never fails. I get the person who poo-poos me and was like, why didn't you use red and green? Because friends, by December 1st, I'm so tired of red and green, I could scream. Gina and I were actually doing a count the other day of how many Christmas cards we have been making since July. And I think we're somewhere in the area of between us, have got to be like 100, and every single one different. So we're like, no more red and green. And yes, I will be giving that a haircut before it goes in the mail. But there's the first one. So this is going to be inside your tutorial. Let me show you the other ones. I got them in a little envelope right here. So this one, remember, these are all from the same bundle. This is all Joy of Noel. If you don't have it, please go get it. You will not regret it, I promise. So these tags are from the tailor-made tag dies. Look at that. So you're going to get the tutorial that explains to you how to shorten up the tags. I stamped, of course, die cut the letters, and I used them in a different formation. I did a little bit of holly and used the dies, and I just stamped my background very randomly and lightly around the border. Just tied on some ribbon and called that done. So that's my second one that'll be inside your tutorial. I'm going to scoot you out just a little bit more. Okay, this next one comes from Designer Series paper that's gone. I know, don't hate me. I didn't know that when I designed it. I'm waiting for this to focus. It's called Shining Brightly. I'm hoping because it's sold out, that means you have it. But I used that distressed gold, easy for you to say. Distressed gold paper is so pretty. Look at that. And then I punched some pieces out here from the sprig punch. Isn't that pretty? And those are those pine needle dies. That ribbon is being carried over. It makes me so happy. And then just some festive little pearls. Very, very, very simple, but so elegant for the holidays, isn't it? All right, and here's the last one. Lots and lots of stamping. So that little background is a stamp inside that stamp set. I loved how I pulled in that, that pink, that real pale pink. And I used it here inside the berries. Again, it's got that wintry feel because of the grains, but it's not your traditional colors like the red and green here. And then I used the joyous on a banner. And of course, you got to have some bling. So these are 4 that are going to be inside the tutorial that's going to be available for you tonight. I am standing up right now and I'm grabbing my buttons. Remember, I told you it's going to be very, very informal tonight. I can see your comments. You love them. Yay. Gosh, that makes me so happy. Yay. I try really hard to come up with ideas you've never seen before. And if you love ideas that have never been seen before, you know I've always got you covered. And Stamp Studio memberships is one of those ways. And we'll talk about that later. But again, you're going to get the tutorials, pictures, cutting dimensions, and step-by-step instructions for all 4 of these cards. Those links will be down. Glorious. I hope that they get the navy sparkle ribbon back in stock. They will. They said it's carrying over, so we're in good shape. It's coming back. So yay, good news, right? Wonderful. Sharon says she loves them all, but the wreath is her favorite. You love the colors. I'm so glad. What is your favorite? Can you do me a favor and leave me a comment? You know, your feedback is really important. I know I say that a lot, but people are like, yeah, it's probably not. I cut my finger the other day, and that's what I'm picking at because the skin is like just hanging there. I don't want to bleed all over my cards. But it is, because a lot of people say, oh, I love purple, so I try to do more purple cards, or I want to see this, or I want to see that. So your feedback is important. The wreath for Kathy. Hi, Cleone, I'm glad you're here. We'll have to watch the replay. We missed you, but I'm so glad you're here, and I always get her name wrong, so I always love to call her Miss Richardson. Arlene, not fair, Lisa, they're all gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Arlene. I appreciate that. Good. Virginia says she likes the Merry Christmas one, which would be the blue and the gold one. You know what? They're all so different, right? A lot to do with this bundle. I'm curious, how many of you already have this bundle, The Joy of Noel? Oh, we got the glare again from the studio lights. The Joy of Noel. If you have it, type it in there. If you don't have it, tell me if you're even thinking about it. I think it's timeless. I don't think you can go wrong. The non-traditional color wreath is her fave for Pat. Sandra says all of them are beautiful, but the wreath is her favorite. Love the wreath for Gloria. I love them all. However, the blue and gold is my favorite for Kay adds. I must be traditional because I love the red and green. That's totally fine, Vi. That's totally fine. It could just be the layout with the tags as well. Keep in mind that the layouts that I share with you can be mixed and matched with any stamp set and any sentiment. So please remember that when I share tutorials with you. Don't think you have to have the stamps and the same colors and the paper. Just use the layout as a mapping and change up everything else. All right, awesome. Here we go. I'm gonna change my bundle. We're gonna mix those guys up. I have a major mess here already. I'm the only person I know who can destroy a little area in like record time. All right, we've mixed everybody up. And I'm bringing in the next set of prizes. We've got an envelope here, and I'm mixing you up, and I've got one name. Phyllis, you are the next winner. Phyllis, you got some goodies coming to your mailbox, and I'm super excited for you, and I hope that you will enjoy them. So Phyllis, that's coming to you. Congratulations. All right, let's do another one. We've got another envelope here, and I'm mixing you guys up. Thomas, you are our next winner. Yay! Now you guys are probably thinking, Thomas, yes, men's stamp, ladies. And I got news for you. They're some of our best stampers. Have you seen Bruno Bertucci's cards? Come on, seriously. The way a man thinks when they design is so different than women. And I love that vantage point of that masculine flair. So Thomas, congratulations to you. Let's do another one. How's that sound? Sound good? All right, so let me mix these up one more time. Bonnie, you're the next winner tonight. Congratulations. So happy for you. Yay. Bonnie's got stuff coming her way. All right, we got more. I've got a mess here. Hold on, I'm trying to move things around. Okay, I'm closing up the tin. Now here comes the informal part I was talking to you about. I'm going to turn the camera down because I'm going to stamp some more, but you get to watch me clean up this mess while you're bringing the other stuff, okay? So if you need a quick drink, like now is enough time for you to run to the sink, get a glass, fill it, and come right back, okay? All right, so here we go. All right, move my buttons, but before we do that, I need to have my beverage, you know? I'm sitting here talking to myself for an hour. People are like, oh, can you just talk to yourself for an hour? I'm like, not really by myself. I mean, you're all here with me. You just can't physically talk back. You just type. So I know we're together. All right, I'm just moving in my new stuff, taking out my old stuff. Bear with me. Like I said, I can make a mess in record time. Let me move a few things around. And let me get out my card base. I'm almost done. I told you you'd have time to go run to the kitchen. That would be about it. All right, now this is brand new product. And I'm going to show it to you first. It's Garden Meadow. And it's one of the online exclusives. I love gardening. I absolutely, thank you, Lorraine. I appreciate that. It's my favorite pastime. I mean, stamping is number one. It comes above everything. but I really, really love to garden. I have a beautiful enclosed lanai here in Florida, and apparently I have a green thumb in that lanai. I didn't know. It's kind of like the perfect green room. I have some beautiful plants in there, but I love to plant flowers outside as well. And obviously, living here in this subtropical climate, we can grow flowers all year round. So this caught my eye, especially because it has dies, which makes me really, really, really happy. So this is what I'm using for this next set of cards. So the very first thing I did, of course, we cut myself a card base, and this is 4¼ by 11. Let's go ahead and let's shimmy up those ends because I can see already I probably was off like by a 32nd of an inch. And let's fix that. We're going to fix that here. Okay. Then I decided I wanted a layer. This is going to be a predominantly white card. Now, this is not always everybody's gig, but I have to tell you, white cards are really quite striking. And keep in mind that if you don't like white cards, just change it, okay? I used the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. Do you see how nice and thick this is compared to a regular folder? That means the impression is going to be deeper. And that is what I've got here. Isn't that cool? I love that shabby chic kind of look. I think it's really, really pretty. So let me put that off to the side because what we're going to end up doing with this is adding it with dimensionals. Might as well just do it now, right? So let's go ahead and take those. I want to show you there's one side that's debossed, one side that's embossed. No right or wrong way. It's just a matter of preference. Another thing I get a question about a lot. Now you're going to see that I'm going to be very generous with these because this entire layer is going to lay on top of my card base. So I want to make sure, again, it doesn't snag when it goes through the mail. So I'm going to be very generous with these. I'm holding my paper down to brace it, and I am just removing those paper backings with my Take Your Pick tool. And I love this, that it wrangles all the little pieces, right? Don't you love that? And there we go. We got that last one. Okay. This now, I want to make sure my crease is at the top. I've done that. Has anybody else done that? Put it in the wrong place. Heavens. All right. And then I'm looking, and we're just going to kind of center this. I should have done it horizontally. I bet one of you is screaming, you should have turned it sideways. You're right. I should have. Okay. So we're going to build on top of this. Let me put that off to the side. I've got a scrap piece of basic white cardstock here. We're going to come back to the Memento black ink. Now I've mounted my stamps, and the only reason I didn't use the Misty for this is because they're tiny. Okay, there was really no reason. I knew I would get a pretty decent impression with no trouble. So I'm going to ink this up, and we are going to do 1, 2, 3. Now there's dies, so you don't have to worry about having to cut them. All right, and then there's another one that's smaller. So I did 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got 3 and we've got 3. Let me close this up so I don't wear it. I did color these in. I kept it really, really simple. We've already talked about coloring, so I'm not going to really go through this, but I just want to chat with you about the colors that I use so that you know. Aline says, for the base like that, would you consider using the strips? Absolutely, you can. The foam adhesive strips are a little bit denser, Aline, so if you want it to stand up more than it would. So a little bit deeper and thicker than the dimensionals. So just to give you a quick tip, Melon Mambo. Remember I told you I like to use my lights first. You see how tiny these are? So you know what I did? I made dots because I know my alcohol pen is going to bleed. So don't worry about coloring the whole thing in. Then I brought in Granny Apple Green. It's one of my favorite greens. And then for these areas here, I kind of just stroked on color and I wasn't even particular. So if I missed a spot and it was white, I was fine with it. Down here, I added some color because you can see how predominantly dark it is here. When I did the same thing for here, like I did with the first card, I just added a dot of dark. And as far as the stems were concerned, I graduated mostly on the bottom half or the sides, okay? There was nothing really to blend because the areas are so small. Now, I did that exact same thing on all the flowers, and I used the coordinating die cuts, which gave me this. So we've got those 3, and then we've got these 3. Now, you're going to probably say, egads, no, I'm telling you, this was so quick. I mean, this was a TV project. You could totally have done this while you're watching TV. All right, so I'm going to scoot those out of the way. And then I want to show you something in the die set that you may have overlooked. In the dies, there is this arch piece. Now, when I got it, I was like, what? It's going to cut out this cool arch? And I was like, oh, it didn't cut out the center. So it gives you a really cool stitched border, and it cuts out the silhouette. So it doesn't cut out the middle, which I thought it was going to do. But then I started thinking, oh, That's going to work really, really good to my advantage. So let me come back to my Memento black ink pad. And I took the words from that same stamp set. So this is all from the same stamp set. Thinking of you. And you might see my head. And I'm going to stamp that right here near the top. Lots of firm, even pressure. There we go. That looks pretty good. Long sleeves on camera are really dangerous. How many of you are wondering if I'm going to get that in the ink pad, right? Okay, so here's the next thing. I decided I wanted to arrange them first. One of the best tips I can tell you is when you're going to create a landscape of things or a bouquet of things, you have to arrange it first. Because if you get all excited and you start sticking them down, guaranteed they are not going to be where you want them. So I got my take your pick tool and I'm just going to kind of do this. I'm going to kind of put this one here and let's take this other big one and we're going to put that one here. Do you see how I'm trying to work near the bottom? I'll tell you why in a few minutes. There's this one. Let's kind of stick this here. We'll make it look like there's a little elevation, right? And then let's put this one here. Oh, we got one more. Did I use this one? Yeah. Let's put this one like over here. Well, that looks good. But now you try to pick this up and make this all stay in the same place. So that's when I bring back in my press and seal. This one is about ready for the trash. You can see how much I've loved it. So one side of the press and seal sticks together. That's the side you want facing down. It tends to be staticky. You need to work fast. So I'm going to come right down like so. Keep in mind, you're going to press it onto the press and seal. And then you're going to flip the whole piece over. So let me lift this. We're going to turn it upside down. Now, some pieces may be tucked behind another, which means they may not have stuck on their own. But I know right now the placement is pretty darn close. So I'm going to come in with my dimensionals because I want all these raised. And again, these are going to secure these pieces together so that when we lift this, it should all come off together. Okay. Again, another great time for you to make sure you got your balance going on here because you don't want wonky dimensionals and your image all coming out weird. So we've got some places here that might be a little bit tight. Can I get one more in there? I can. And then down here might be a little bit too small. So let's just switch over to mini dimensionals because I don't want to have to rip this thing apart. And again, I'm really generous with these because I don't want to be embarrassed. And let's see. Can we get another one up here? I think we can. All right. And then I'm going to put another one here. It's got to be stable. And you'll see why in just a minute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. Do you see how there's one underneath here? You know why? Because it was overlapping. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in with my precision glue press. I want you to see how small this is. I have small hands, so this fits in the palm of my hand. Many of you have questioned whether this is difficult or not with arthritis, and I'm telling you, all you need to do is this. I cannot squeeze for the life of me. So let me bring in my silicone craft sheet here. I think you can see it at the top of your screen. Get it started. While it's here, and I know that piece is where it's supposed to be. Do you see what I'm doing? This is where that precision gun comes in great because I can reach underneath there and see really, really well. Now, nobody is talking to me, so you guys are making me nervous. All right, so I'm going to peel this one up. So now it's all together. Now it's all one piece. This should be almost dry because that multi-purpose liquid glue is really strong. And there we go. We got this one. I stick this on the back of my stamp case, but that one's probably going to go in the trash because I think it's been overloved. I'm going to come back to here. What we're going to do now is we're going to flip this upside down, make sure those dimensionals are good in place, and we're going to release the backings on these. So I'm going to take all these off. By the way, you know, you're going to have 4 cards coming with this bundle. I think you're going to really enjoy them. Working here near the bottom, that's going to be really important. So I'm trying to work here at the top of the ledge. You guys are watching intently. Lori, thank you. And then I'm going to flip this one over and we're going to take off those dimensionals. I always try to brace the cardstock because I really pierce these pretty well to get those backings off. This is a little flicking motion. There we go. Throw those away. And then this now is going to go here on this side. If you have any dimensional showing, let's see if you can see it. I've got a little tiny piece right there. Do you see it? Okay, it's bugging me. So I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and I'm pushing the foam of the dimensional back underneath. So it looks professional, right? Okay, back to the dies. There is a die here of a fence. So you could actually stamp it and die cut it because there's a stamp for it as well. But I opted just for the fence. So Jean and I had a discussion when she was here. Does it go this way or does it go this way? I'm like, well, I guess it depends what kind of ranch you live on. So I'm going to go this way with the V at the bottom. Don't even attempt to do this with anything other than this precision glue press. There's a few left in stock. If you guys want it, you definitely want to go get it. It's on my website under shop, and then scroll down to craft room favorites and click on it and scroll under the Misty products. You'll see this there. I can't live without this thing. So I'm telling you, do you see how little I'm squeezing? And I got little tiny dots of glue here. So I'm just going to work on some of the bolder areas because, you know, we don't have to go like bananas. This is really strong stuff. I'm just going to kind of fill those little spots. That looks pretty good. I am now going to reach for my reversible tweezers that are part of my embossing toolkit. That helps me. And then let's put this like so. And this is going to go across here. So you want to make sure that the fence is covering the bottom of your plants because you don't want them to be, you know, an untidy ranch kind of flower, right? And I'm just going to press it in place. That glue is really strong and it dries really, really, really quickly. So let me move this. And then now we're going to come back over here to the base of the card. We're going to flip this upside down. I am grabbing my dimensionals. And once again, we are going to be generous. So we want to make sure that it's well balanced. Look at that, sticking to the corners of my hand. Another one here, and then here, and then here. I was afraid this was going to sag. Anybody else? Anybody else use this many dimensionals besides me? I'm like, heck, these are like a penny a piece. I can do that. If I made a pretty card, I want to make sure that it comes out looking right. It's worth it to me. All right, then we're going to take this, and this is going to go right smack dab in the middle. But you know it's not done, right? Not going to be done because it's got to have stuff on it. So I brought in these iridescent discs. I wrote the colors on the inside of the flap, so I wasn't forever guessing. So Granny Apple, we got White Melon Bombo, Pool Party, and Poppy Parade. And the one thing I've loved about these, look at the white ones. Look at the iridescent color in there. So I thought, ooh, that would be pretty because it's not going to take away, but it's going to add some pop to this. So I'm going to work on those again. You know, I love that triangle thing. So let's come up here and let's take those and put those on my card. Again, these have glue dots on the back, just like the first one. And just like that, voila, we are done. Pretty, pretty and simple. Now, if you hate an all white card, let's pause. This could be a color. It could be crumb cake. You could use a blending brush. You could use whatever you want. This could be colored cardstock. It could be even in a green to represent the background. And it's a light green. You can still stamp on top of it or heat emboss in white. I just wanted a nice, clean, simple card. So, okay, some of you use lots of dimensionals too. Yay! Oh, Kathy says it's gorgeous. I'm so glad. Okay, so I'm glad you like that. So here's the first one that's going to be in your bundle of tutorials. As a reminder, it's Garden Meadow. It's an online exclusive, only available while supplies last. They never guarantee us if they're going to restock, so don't wait. Okay, here come the other cards that are going to be in your tutorial. So this one uses the designer series paper from Delightfully Eclectic. So this time I did the boots and the little flower basket. I used blends to color them in. I've got the contoured scallop dies and I just stamped it inside here. Very simple, but you see how I played up the ribbon in the back to give us a little shimmer, and then I could add a few of the iridescent rhinestones. Really, really, really pretty. But I did this one 4 1/4 by 11 so that it opens this way, just for something different. All right, so those two. Oh, you guys like it. Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, good. Here comes your next one. Now, you might be looking at that thinking, egads, I love it, but it's too much work. It really isn't, okay? So let's talk about this card. They're just panels to section off the card. I did all the math for you. It's already inside your PDF tutorial, so I tell you what sizes these are. I tell you the sizes of the layers. So it's Poppy Parade in basic white. I used my blends, added a little bit of ribbon there for a little bit of texture and popped those up. So I kept with a very simple color palette, and I just love this. Every day is a fresh start. Be a great graduation card too. Now this last one I couldn't resist. I used the Dots and Spots die. So it creates those little dots and spots, and I use it as a pegboard. Again, I couldn't resist those little boots. Come on, too cute. And this, I believe, is Tahitian Tide is what it looks like. And then I colored in some of the tools, but I kept them mostly white because I didn't want them to get lost with too much of that Tahitian Tide. And then I just put little rustic, little metallic dots to kind of hold them to the pegboard. And this is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card. You all ask me this, don't you do the insides? I don't until I'm ready to send them, because I found when I did them, when I pulled the card out, the inside was never appropriate for the person I wanted to send it to. And then I was forever dismantling my card without making it look like crud. And I said, forget that. I will do the inside when I know who it's going to, so I don't have to disassemble the whole thing. So here you go. Here are the 4 that are going to be inside your PDF tutorial. As always, I want to know which one is your favorite. So you need to pop down right now in the comments and let me know. Lots and lots of fun, aren't they? I'm telling you what, I have a ball when I get a bundle of products and I can just come up with something totally different that you haven't seen. So I hope that you like them. Love the panel card. Oh, Sarah, thank you. Lots and lots of fun. I love to color. I find it very therapeutic. And good, I'm glad you liked it. I was afraid some of you would be like, nah, I ain't making that card. It's not a card to make 100 of, but it's certainly a card you can make 1 or 2 that are special, right? Lynn said, I tried to order the discs last week and they're sold out. Oh, I'm so sorry. We're going to talk about that tonight. Let me move these cards out of the way because I got to move my buttons closer. All right, let's take a pause and let's do some prize patrol. All right, I got my tin. This is the best part, right? Giving away stuff. All right, got my names. Got my first envelope here. I'm going to read your comments. You can't decide between the 2 in the middle. Ann says, hi, Ann. I didn't see you sneak in. All right. Got our first name. Sharon! Yay! I saw Sharon here. Now, Sharon, the rule is when your name is called and you are in the live chat, you need to blow up the live chat with a bunch of exclamation points or say yay or something. But this is coming to you. I'm mailing it to you. It's going to go out in the mail tomorrow. That means you're going to have it in a couple days, and I hope that you'll enjoy it. Congratulations to you, Sharon. Okay, here's our next package here. Mixing these up. Pamela Marsh, you are the next winner. Yay! So fun. So fun. You know what I say? If it's free, it's for me. That's what I say. Congratulations to you, Pam. Okay, and I've got one more for now. We got more. Don't worry. All right, mixing them up. So I want to make sure it's fair. I'll make sure I got one. I do. All right, hold on. I got trouble opening it. Anna, you are the next winner. Congratulations, Anna. I'm so happy that you got something coming to your house. It's going to be a happy mail. I love happy mail. We got more names in there, okay? But this is the part of Live with Lisa where I want to go over some things with you so that you are in the know. This is the best part about this. I don't spend a lot of time on it. We're going to whiz through the topics because you need to know what's going on. So you can say, I heard it first. So that's really important. Congratulations to all of you. Congratulations. Okay, moving my buttons a little bit closer. Let's talk about this. We've mentioned it several times tonight. The last chance products list. What is that? These are the list of products that are retiring soon and are not coming back. So if you go into the online store and you see little red text next to it that says retiring soon, you need to purchase it. Once they're gone, they're gone. They do not get restocked. Retired is retired. Okay, so please keep that in mind. I am going to answer a question about a couple emails I've gotten recently. Someone said, geez, I've seen retired products from like a year or 2 years ago come back in the clearance rack. Yeah, they have the right to do that. Years ago, they never did. But when COVID happened and they had so much extra inventory on the shelves because it took forever to get in stock, they were stuck with it and they had to get rid of it in order to keep revenue going. You know how that goes, right? Money in, money out. So I will tell you though, I think that they're going to sell out of just about everything good. Like we know about the discs and the designer series papers. Anna Hale, yay, you are here. Congratulations to you. All right, so make sure you look at your list. Go through that mini catalog. If there's something you want that you've been on the fence about it, now is the time. Some of them are discounted, some of them. Not all of them, some of them. So keep that in mind. That'll all show up online for you. The next is this. This is the hot topic. I can't show it to you yet because I haven't gotten my physical copies. You want to know when you're getting the new catalog. So the new catalog is coming out soon. So the current mini catalog is retiring, and on January 4th, we're getting a brand new one. Now, as a demonstrator, I've gotten to see it online, and it's pretty spectacular. But in addition to it, they're releasing their annual sale to coincide with it. So for the months of January and February, they're going to have what they call celebration. It's S-A-L-E, abration, celebration. For every $50 increment in product you buy, you're going to be able to choose a free product from the sale brochure. And those products are made exclusively as freebies for the sale. Now, if you have a big order of $100, there's even a level 2 product list for those bigger orders. But keep in mind, please watch your totals. I cannot tell you how many times we see an order come in January and February, and it's $47.50. And I'm like, oh, if you would have spent $2.50 more, you could have chose something for free from the book. And the freebies are good. So please, please, please keep your totals in mind. It's every $50 increment. The freebies are valued anywhere from $13 to $15. Don't leave money on the table. $2.50 purchase could have gotten you $15 in free product from that brochure. So please keep that in mind. You're probably wondering, am I getting a catalog and a brochure? The answer is most likely yes. So let me tell you how that works here at Lisa's Stamp Studio. If you have ordered at least $50 in the last 6 months with me, that would be from May through November, you're automatically going to get it. I pay for a mailing program through Stampin' Up! So it comes directly to you. So there's no, it comes to me, then I mail it to you kind of stuff. No, we just cut out the middleman. It's coming directly to your mailbox. Those should be in your hand around January 2nd, January 4th, and you might get them a little bit sooner. That's great. Please keep in mind they are sent bulk mail, standard mail. That's the only way we can afford to send them. They're sent that way. So those of you that live in rural areas tend to get yours a little bit later. And please keep in mind that they're going to be plastic wrapped with both catalog and the brochure together. So they will be addressed to you. If you haven't spent $50 in the last 6 months and you want these publications, there's 2 things you can do. You can put an order in December, and I will make sure that you get a catalog. Just let me know you want one. Or you can purchase them on my website. So I charge $7 to cover the mailing because we have to mail them out at a more expensive rate. And then I give you a $5 coupon to use in my PDF tutorial library. So it only costs you $2. So it's up to you. Most all of you here qualified for free catalogs, and those are coming your way. The mailing selector was finished as of today. It's closed. So that means tomorrow all those catalog labels are being sent to the manufacturer who's going to print them and start packaging them out. I have a feeling the vast majority of you will get them before Christmas. Fingers crossed. Okay, and of course, weather permitting. So yay! Can't wait for you guys to see it. It's really spectacular. There is really something for everybody, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Gina and I have already been playing with those products now for, maybe about 2 weeks now, I'd say. And we have some favorites, and you'll see them in upcoming videos as well. All right, I want to make sure you know about Stamp Studio memberships. I know you probably think you talk about this all the time. Well, I'm going to tell you, because we're friends, that Stamp Studio memberships took off. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in this membership program. And I think the reason it has worked so well is for several reasons. First and foremost, I design every single card, and it's something you've never seen anywhere else, and it's exclusive for the membership. Number 2, it's $5 for the whole month. And every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, it's coming right to your inbox. You get the pictures, you get the cutting dimensions, the supplies, the step-by-step instructions. It's no frills. The other thing is we made the photos and the tutorials not watermarked. They don't have our logo on them, our header, nothing. So a lot of you who teach classes at assisted living facilities or stamp with friends, you don't feel like you're, quote, advertising. We also know that we have quite a few Stampin' Up! Demonstrators who follow us, and they want to be able to take those project ideas and use them for themselves. And we want you to. Heck, the best part about creating is knowing that you loved it enough to copy it. So by all means, if you love fresh ideas that are never going to be seen anywhere else, Stamp Studio membership is for you. So that's level 1. Now, level 2, I include one fun fold a month, but you'll get the everything in level 1 every single week. So you'll get a fresh card every week and one fun fold a month. I do product price patrol there as well. It's lots of fun. And of course, you get a discount in my PDF tutorial library for the month. So it's just lots of fun. It's affordable. And that's $10 a month. But it really is fun. And I've already designed now clear, I think, through January 8th. And I just love the cards because I think you're going to really learn a lot. Not just color and layout. You're going to look at stamp sets in a way you've never looked at them before and thought, oh, I didn't like that, but now I do, kind of thing. Don't samples sell? I know that when I see you guys make something, I'm like, oh, I didn't get that, but I really like it. So you're enablers too. So that's a little about Stamp Studio memberships. We are going to be doing a lot with it in 2024, and I would love to have you join us. And here's the best part. Anybody can join from any country. So if you have friends in Canada or overseas, they can join us because it's a virtual product. In addition to that, you can cancel or suspend at any time. So we would love to have you. So go to my website and just click on memberships on the red menu bar. Do you have the stamps and dies for Stamp Studio membership? Gloria, I'm not sure what you're asking. Do you have to have? Oh, no. My sample is revolving obviously around some stamps, but I always give you some topics on ways to change it to make it your own. So please keep in mind, for instance, let me give you an example. If I had done this for Stamp Studio memberships, do you have to use these stamps? No, you can use anything there, right? If you don't have these stamps, you could use anything. The pegboard could be designer series paper. So I always give you lots of room to be creative. The biggest stumbling block card makers have is they don't know where to start. They have stamp sets they want to use, but they don't know where to start. They don't understand the mapping or what colors. So hopefully that memberships are going to spark you. I know a lot of you here are already members, and I know you tell me how much you're enjoying it. So thank you. I am finally here. I couldn't find my email. Oh, Vicki, yes, please watch the replay. Oh, Aline, thank you. I'm so glad that you enjoy what's in Stamp Studio membership. So that's a little bit about that. And then Paper Pumpkin this month, you have until December 10th to subscribe. It's called, I have to look, A Field of Dandelions. Now this is going to be 9 cards, 3 each of 3 different designs. Here's a little sneak peek for you. I do want you to know, if you've not tried Paper Pumpkin, it might be for you. Again, you can cancel or suspend at any time. It's $24.50 a month. I have to think. I've been doing Paper Pumpkin for so many years, and with inflation, 10, 12 years, the price has changed. But that includes shipping if you subscribe month to month. So there's no shipping fee, just local sales tax. And everything you need is in the kit. The stamps, you're going to get a clear block on your very first kit subscription. You've got the glue dots, you've got all the pre-cut supplies, and you can copy it exactly as it's intended or use all that to make whatever you want. They're very generous with the accessories and the glue dots, so you don't ever have to worry about running out. And I love it because all you have to do is open the box and just make it. It's fantastic around holidays to take to the grandkids, to give to college students, or perhaps you know someone who's in an assisted living facility who has limited space for crafting supplies but loves to crafts. This makes a great gift as well. Christmas is a wonderful time. Now, I don't think I have a screen for it, and I probably should have now that I'm talking about it. Let's just move over to this. This is your reminder to come back and get your tutorials when I'm all done. Oh, you guys love your Paper Pumpkin. Yay! That makes me so happy. Makes me super, super happy. All right, so give me about 10 minutes and then you'll get your tutorials, but I've got a couple things I need to go over with you before we go. This is going to be the last Live with Lisa for 2023 because the December Live with Lisa actually falls on the date that we're celebrating Christmas with Cody, Gina, and the baby up in Gainesville, which would have been December 28th. So I'm taking everybody in December and moving you all to the next Live with Lisa, which is January 4th. So in January, we will have 2 Live with Lisas. Please keep that in mind. So up to January 4th, and the next one will be, of course, at the end of January. So that means if you place 2 $25 orders with the host code in 2 different time frames, you're going to get 2 Live with Lisas in the month of January. So please keep that in mind. I will be in a YouTube premiere on Monday, which is December 4th. Can you believe it's December tomorrow? Where did this year go? But I also want to take this time to tell you Merry Christmas. And I hope that your new year is filled with all the wonderful things that God blesses you with, health and prosperity and peace and joy. I cannot tell you how important you are here at Lisa's Stamp Studio. Every single one of your names is a household name. Every single one of you matters. You allow us to do what we absolutely love. Many of you have been with me for many, many years, and I thank you so much for your loyalty to us. We love what we do, and we couldn't do it if we didn't have you riding the train with us. So thank you for letting us create and inspire you. We really, really appreciate that. We are here if you have questions or concerns. We really work hard to provide amazing customer service to you. We love you all very, very much. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. And those of you that earn Live with Lisa during December, I will see you all live right here on January 4th. If not, I'll see you Monday for the premiere. God bless everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.